What's going on, guys? This is Joey Young coming at you an update video on the Planet Nano Reef Tank. So I got a request last week to make an update video on the reef tank. I know it's been a while, and I was going to do an update earlier, but I had a bunch of projects going on and I wanted to kind of get those videos kind of rolling. Plus there's a bunch of other tanks that I need to update you guys on anyways. So last week I did an unboxing video of the two new lightning maroon clownfish that I bought, and as you can see, mistakes were made already. If you guys don't already know, clownfish, once they kind of like pair off, they can be kind of aggressive, and maroon clownfish are actually the most aggressive clownfish out of all of them. So the way it works with clownfish is you always have one female and the rest are males if you have a school of them. When you have an established pair in a tank, they can definitely become kind of aggressive to the new clownfish that are introduced into the tank. So as you can see here, I have one clownfish that is actually in the breeder net. The other clownfish that's outside, he's actually the new clownfish. And I don't know if you can see here, this is the old lightning maroon clownfish. So he kind of got dethroned, or she got dethroned pretty fast. So for my reef tank, I don't really have a quarantine tank. I just have these breeder nets, and looking at the clownfish, they look really healthy coming in. Again, it's always a risk if you introduce new fish into an established system. They can come with diseases, come with issues. What I actually did was I put them in the breeder net, I fed them, they ate really well. And I didn't see any signs of any, stress issues or any diseases. So I went ahead and introduced them into the tank. So the first thing that happened was once this new clownfish jumped into the tank, it immediately started attacking the other clownfish, which is on the far right side, and really trying to figure out who's dominant. And obviously this clownfish here is much bigger than the current one I had, and obviously that one won. So what happened is basically they split between the tanks, and this one's on this side now and the other one is on the far right side. Now with this third clownfish here, this is also the new clownfish, it got really picked on because what would happen was this guy would chase this guy and he would try to find a corner, and the current one that I had in here would chase him because he was in that corner, and it kind of just like bouncing around. So I went ahead and put him back into the breeder net. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of get him familiar with, probably this is going to be the female now. This clownfish here, as you can see, she's already kind of like being really aggressive even with the tank. As you can see here, he's trying to be submissive and say, yep, you're the dominant one. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably slowly introduce those clownfish together and then slowly put them back into the tank. Again, the maroon clownfish family is really aggressive. They're known to just really almost like kill anything and everything in your reef tank, or could. And actually, luckily, this clownfish is not as aggressive to the other fish. I know my current one that I have, she was really mean to the 6-line wrasse and really only picked on the wrasse, but this one actually is really friendly to the other fish, other than its own species for whatever reason. So as you can see, the clownfish are really nice. I really like the pattern on the lightning clownfish, and I couldn't be more happier with the purchase. Alright, so let's talk about the rest of the tank now. So today I actually did my water change, so that's why it's a little bit cleaner than normal. Actually, I scraped out a lot of the algae in the tank. What I actually went and did was I went to a 2-week water change schedule instead of a 1 week. I used to do a 1-week schedule. With any Planet tank, and obviously this is a Planet Reef tank, you want a certain level of nitrates in the tank so that the plant can actually consume. So with this tank, I have really low livestock and just corals in general. So really the nitrates in this tank is 0 because of the plants consuming all of it. The one thing I noticed between this tank and my previous tank, where I was actually experimenting with plants, and this is how I got into a full Planet Reef tank, was the other tank was heavily stocked in livestock, and actually it generated a lot of ammonia, which created a food source for the plants. In this tank, I don't really feed that much in the first place. Secondly, there's so much plants in here that food gets consumed way too fast, and actually I noticed that on the left side, the plants, they don't actually get a chance to grow as fast or faster than the right side, just because a lot of the flow is on the side, and also every time I turn off my sump, debris gets blown up in here and it kind of settles on the side for the plants to consume. So during the water change, what I did was I took this rock here, which was kind of placed a little bit further back, and I pulled it forward and kind of shifted it this way. The reason being, this clownfish was actually really dominant and actually in the middle when she was, I guess, the queen of the tank, but now she's been dethroned with the other maroon clownfish, and she kind of picked a place back here to hide behind. And I kind of wanted to make a little nice crevice or a little like wall so that she feels a lot more comfortable in that area. So until all of them can get along with each other, they're going to be kind of like separated from each side right now, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get the fish to kind of feel comfortable on this side and eventually move off into the other side. Alright, so my other clownfish in here, the little baby one, which is the male, that one was actually really funny. So what happened was when I introduced the new clownfish, this one here and the pair to the far right teamed up and tried to beat up the new clownfish. That was so hilarious. So obviously that's a tiny little fish compared to the actual lightning maroon clownfish over here. So I found it really funny that it was trying to pick on them and double team them. So right now the little gold nugget clownfish actually is getting along with the lightning maroon clownfish just fine. As you can see, really submissive, and it's just like, okay, well, I mean, you're bigger than me, and obviously you're the new boss. So on my last update, I actually put the dragon's breath algae up in here, and I don't know if you remember, but this little piece was actually really small. And as you can see here, it almost like double or triple in size, and I think it's just due to me moving it closer to the light. That's one, and two, giving it, I guess, a bigger area so it can grow, because before it was kind of like tucked away somewhere far between some plants, and it wasn't getting enough light, it wasn't getting enough flow, and it was kind of like turned upside down occasionally, and it kind of like rolled everywhere. So I kind of clamped it down, and I guess kind of hit it in between here so it can actually get a stable, like, I guess, footing. And then it looks like it's doing really well now, and it's actually growing. So I'm hoping that it actually can grow and spread. And down onto the sump, these are the snowflake clownfish that I've had for a while now. And they actually haven't bred in a long time now, but they're always having fun with each other. They like to go in and out of the little own, I guess, house that they make. They pretty much drag every item down here and kind of move it around from place to place just to have fun. And they're really enjoying just kind of like playing in this little area. As always, I'm trying to find a better way to kind of balance the tank out. There is still, hair algae occasionally from here to here. So actually the hair algae isn't actually a bad thing. It's actually helping to consume the nitrates in the tank. But the thing is, it's actually consuming the nitrates and taking away from the plants. So I'm trying to find a way to actually control those guys, or maybe even find a little livestock or even a snail that eats, hair algae really well. I know that emerald crabs do really well, but obviously they eat macroalgae too. So it's been kind of a little bit tricky. I've been, hand pulling a lot of these, which is fine. I don't mind during my water changes. But I'd like to kind of find that fine balance between, perfect lighting and I guess like perfect like fertilizing to keep the hair algae to a minimum and actually maximize the actual plants in the tank. Alright guys, so that's a quick update on the Nano Reef tank. I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Make sure you guys stay tuned. There will be plenty of more updates on the other tanks coming up pretty soon here. And until next time guys, peace.